Listen up, brothers. The fire's snapping in this cabin. Pine smoke clinging to my jacket. One hand wrapped around a hot cup of coffee. And still the cold sits deep in the bones. People think leaving the battlefield means the fight is over. It doesn't.
I have to figure this
The
out.
safe zone is often just false peace. Sometimes
all right.
silence is scarier than gunfire, because in silence, the ghosts of the past know how to slip back in. That night in Pittsburgh, a diner glowed with warm yellow light, like a refuge. And then the breach came. The monster didn't knock with claws. It knocked with laughter, with a phone held up like a weapon, and with a slap across the face of a disabled teenage girl. So let me ask you, when you're pinned to the wall, do you run or do you fight? Hold the line. I saw Emily sitting alone with a bowl of soup. I saw Tyler and his two buddies turning
gonna do
pain
now,
into
Emily?
a video. And I stood
I
up,
saw that.
red and black flannel on my
Stay
back, a slight limp in my left
You
leg,
have to move.
and a black and tan German shepherd at my side, wearing a harness that read, "Service dog, do not pet." Like a guardian that doesn't need. Sit down with me, brothers. Hear this through to the end, and take a survival lesson you can carry into your own life. Yellow light, cold glass. Snow drifted sideways over Pittsburgh, thin and sharp, like the city was sanding down its own edges. Riverside Diner glowed in warm yellow light, a small island of heat on a tired street. The bell above the door gave a weak ring as Noah Carter stepped inside. He was 40, broad-shouldered, and built like someone who had once carried heavy things for a living. A red and black flannel shirt showed beneath his winter jacket. A trimmed beard framed his face, and silver threaded his temples. He moved with a slight hitch in his left leg, the kind that came from an old injury that never stopped keeping score. At his side walked a 5-year-old German shepherd, black and tan, steady-eyed and quiet. The dog wore a black harness with bold white lettering across the side that read, "Service dog, do not pet." No one needed to ask what the dog's job was. The dog's calm was the answer. Noah chose a stool at the counter where he could see the whole room without looking like he was trying. Old habit. He kept his hands wrapped around a coffee mug as if it could transfer warmth into bones. The dog settled by his boot and did not move again. Diane Miller, the owner, looked up from behind the register. She was 55, with short graying hair pinned back and eyes that missed nothing. She had the blunt posture of someone who had wiped down 1,000 tables and heard 1,000 stories. She gave Noah a nod, the quiet kind that said, "You are safe here, but the world still walks in." "You want the usual?" Diane asked. Noah's mouth twitched. "If the usual is coffee that tastes like it gave up, then yes." Diane snorted. "That coffee has character." Noah's dog lifted one ear and then relaxed again, as if even the coffee joke had been evaluated and dismissed. The door chimed again. A teenage girl stepped in and paused, like she had to bargain with the room for permission to exist. Her name was Emily Harper. She was 17, slim, with dark blonde hair pulled into a loose ponytail. A metal brace ran along her left leg beneath her jeans, and she leaned on a cane that looked too plain for how much it had been through with her. Her face carried a careful calm that did not quite reach her eyes. She chose a table by the window, the one people picked when they wanted to watch the world but not be in it. She sat slowly, controlled, like every motion had been rehearsed to avoid drawing attention. Diane's expression softened. Not pity, something sharper. Recognition. Diane brought Emily a bowl of soup and a basket of bread without making a speech about it. "On the house," she said quietly. Emily blinked, surprised. "I did not order bread." "Now you did," Diane replied. Cold night. Eat. Emily gave a small smile that looked like practice. Thank you. Noah watched without staring. He had learned the difference. The dog's gaze flicked to Emily, then back to Noah, as if asking, Is this ours to protect? Noah did not answer out loud. Outside, tires crunched in the snow. A car stopped too fast. Laughter spilled out before the door even opened. Noah's hand tightened on his mug, because he had heard that laugh before. In different cities, in different years. Same sound. The joke that was not a joke. Wind pushed against the diner windows as if it wanted in. The streetlight outside flickered once, then held steady, like it was bracing for what it might have to witness. Tyler Briggs entered first. He was 19, lean, and wore a cheap black hoodie under a puffy jacket that tried to make him look tougher than he was. His hair was styled with care, the kind of care that said he wanted attention even when he pretended he did not. In his hand, his phone sat ready, angled like a weapon. Logan Price followed, 20, tall and thick-armed, with a heavy jaw and the restless eyes of someone always checking if he was doing the right wrong thing. He was not the leader. He was the muscle that wanted to be invited to matter. Chase Nolan came in last, 18, narrow-faced with bright, sharp eyes and a mouth that moved faster than his thoughts. He laughed before anyone said something funny, like laughing was his job. They ordered sodas they did not drink, and fries they did not pay attention to. Tyler's gaze swept the room, searching for a target, and landed on Emily by the window. Emily stiffened. She kept her eyes on her soup, as if ignoring them could make them disappear. Tyler walked over with the slow confidence of someone who had never paid for consequences. "Well, look at this," he said, loud enough for the diner to hear. "You got a special seat or something?" Emily did not answer. Chase leaned in, grinning. "Maybe she gets a discount for being, you know." Logan chuckled like he was supposed to, but his laugh sounded unsure. Diane appeared at Tyler's shoulder, wiping her hands on a towel. "Eat your food," she said. "Leave her alone." Tyler smiled at Diane like she was an old joke. "We are not doing anything. We are just talking." "Talk from your table," Diane said. Tyler turned back to Emily. "Hey," he said, softer now, like he was being friendly. "What happened to you anyway? Fall off your bike or something?" Emily's voice came out small but steady. "Please go back to your seat." For a second, Tyler looked almost offended. Not by her words, but by her nerve. His shoe nudged the base of Emily's cane. Not hard, but enough. The cane slipped. Emily's body tilted as she tried to catch her balance. Metal at her knee clicked faintly. A gasp ran through a nearby booth, then died when no one followed it with action. Noah did not move. Yet. His dog's ears rose. The harness lettering sat sharp in the diner light. Emily grabbed the table edge and steadied herself. She swallowed, eyes shining. Anger and fear mixed into one bitter thing. Tyler laughed and lifted his phone. "This is going to be gold," he said. "Say something inspirational." Emily's hands trembled. She reached for her cane again. Tyler's fingers brushed her soup bowl, then pushed. The bowl tipped. Hot soup slid across the table and splashed onto Emily's wrist and forearm. Her breath caught. She clenched her jaw so hard it looked like she might crack a tooth. "Oops," Tyler said, wide-eyed in fake innocence. "My bad." Diane stepped forward, and for the first time, Her voice rose. "Get out!" Tyler's smile vanished. He looked around as if daring someone to back Diane up. No one did. And then he crossed the line that made the whole diner change shape. He slapped Emily. The sound was clean and loud, like a door being slammed. Emily's head turned slightly from the impact. For a moment, she just stared, stunned. Then her eyes filled, not with weakness, but with the humiliating shock of being treated like she was less than human. Tyler held his phone up higher, hungry for a reaction. Noah finally set his mug down. The ceramic clicked against the counter, calm and final. The man in the red-black flannel snow pressed against the glass in soft waves. Inside, the diner felt too quiet, like even the jukebox was afraid to speak. Noah Carter turned on his stool. He stood up slowly, not because he was unsure, but because he did not waste motion. The red and black flannel showed clearly now, and the slight limp in his left leg was visible as he stepped off the raised edge of the counter area. His dog rose with him, silent. The German Shepherd did not bark. It moved into position as if it had rehearsed this moment 100 times. The black harness with "Service Dog, Do Not Pet" faced the room like a warning sign that did not blink. Tyler looked at Noah and grinned. "Oh, we got a hero," he said. "Sit down, Grandpa." Noah's eyes were steady, the kind of steady that made jokes feel foolish. His voice was low. "Put the phone away." Tyler laughed and stepped closer. He smelled like sweet energy drink and cheap cologne. "Or what?" Noah did not answer the challenge. He glanced at Emily first. He saw her wrist, red and wet, and the way she held her shoulders like she was trying to stop herself from breaking apart. He looked at Diane next. Her hands shook with rage. She was the kind of woman who would throw a frying pan if she thought it would fix the world. Noah made his choice. "Diane," he said, calm, "call the police." Tyler rolled his eyes. "Call whoever. This is America." Tyler shoved Noah's shoulder as if to prove he could. Noah's body shifted, stable. He barely rocked. He was heavy the way a tree is heavy, rooted. The limp did not make him fragile. It made him careful. Logan's face tightened. "Tyler, chill," Logan muttered, but he did not step in. Chase circled to get a better angle with his phone, hungry for drama. Tyler lifted his hand again, fast, aiming to slap Noah the way he had slapped Emily. The move had the confidence of someone who believed the world always gave him a second chance. The German Shepherd stepped forward, not lunging, not attacking, just stepping. The dog placed its body between Noah and Tyler, head level, ears up, eyes locked. It was quiet, but it was not soft. It was a wall with a heartbeat. Tyler froze. His hand stopped midair. His smile fell apart. For the first time, he saw the harness up close. "Service Dog, Do Not Pet." Not a pet, not a toy, not a prop. Noah's voice stayed steady. "Back away." Tyler swallowed and tried to laugh it off. "Your dog is going to bite me?" Noah shook his head once. "No, my dog is going to stand there, and you are going to realize you are done." Tyler's eyes darted to the room, searching again for allies. He found none. The diner patrons were still quiet, but it was a different quiet now. Not fear. Watching. A chair scraped in the corner. A woman stood up from a booth near the back. She was about 35, with dark hair cut to her shoulders and a simple gray coat. Her posture was straight, and her face had the controlled calm of someone used to high-stakes rooms. Her eyes were sharp, not angry, but precise. This was Sarah Whitman. She held up her phone. "I have it all," she said. Her voice was firm, clear. The slap, the soup, everything. Tyler's head snapped toward her. "Who are you?" Sarah did not flinch. Someone who does not laugh at cruelty. Chase's grin faded. Logan's hands curled into fists and then loosened again, like he did not know what kind of person he wanted to be. Emily stared at Sarah like she had just seen a door open in a wall she thought was solid. Noah did not smile. He just stood there, the man in the flannel, the dog in the harness, and the whole diner finally breathing again. Outside, faint sirens began to rise through the snow. P. Instant regret. A gust rattled the diner's door as red and blue lights spilled across the snow outside. The siren cut through the night, not loud in the diner yet, but close enough to make everyone's stomach tighten. Officer Marcus Reed stepped in with a partner, both wearing winter gear dusted with snow. Marcus was 38, medium build, with a calm face that looked like it had learned how to keep anger on a leash. His eyes moved through the room fast, taking in posture and distance, and who looked like they might do something stupid. "Who called?" Marcus asked. Diane raised her hand, still shaking. "I did." Marcus's gaze landed on Emily. The red mark on her cheek was visible, the dampness on her sleeve, the way she held her cane like it was the only thing in the room that would not betray her. Then he looked at Tyler. Tyler lifted his chin, acting confident, but his eyes were jumping. "This is getting blown up," he said. "We were joking." Sarah stepped forward. She held her phone out, screen lit. Video paused on the moment Tyler's hand met Emily's face. "I have the full recording," Sarah said. "He assaulted her." Marcus took the phone, watched a few seconds, and his jaw tightened. He handed it back with care, as if it was evidence and also a fragile piece of someone's dignity. "Tyler Briggs?" Marcus asked. Tyler blinked. "How do you know my name?" Marcus nodded toward Chase, who still had his own phone in hand, too scared now to keep filming, but too slow to hide it. "People who film trouble tend to leave trails," Marcus said. Tyler tried to shift blame. "She started it. She talked back." Emily's breath hitched. For a second she looked like she might shrink. Then she lifted her eyes and spoke, voice trembling but clear. "I asked him to stop." Marcus looked at Tyler again. "Turn around," he said. Tyler's smile cracked. "Come on, man." "Turn around," Marcus repeated, and the calm in his voice made it worse. Calm meant he was sure. The cuffs clicked shut. That sound did something to the room. It broke a spell. Someone in a booth exhaled hard. Another person wiped their eyes, embarrassed to have waited so long. Logan took a step back, hands up. "I did not slap her," he said quickly. His voice sounded like a kid caught near a fire he did not start, but did not stop. Marcus's partner moved toward Logan and Chase. "We are going to sort out who did what," the partner said. Chase's face went pale. "My phone is just for fun," he muttered, voice thin. Sarah watched them, expression steady. Then she spoke to Marcus, quietly, too quietly for most of the diner to hear. Marcus's eyes shifted to Sarah with recognition. He straightened slightly, then addressed Tyler again, voice firm. "You are under arrest for assault and for intimidation. And for whatever else the district attorney decides after she sees this. Tyler's eyes widened. District attorney? Sarah stepped forward so Tyler could see her properly. 35, controlled and not impressed. Assistant district attorney, she said. Sarah Whitman. Instant regret hit Tyler like another slap. His face drained of color. He stammered, searching for a rope to grab. My sister, he blurted out. My sister has a brace like that. I did not mean. Noah finally spoke again. He did not raise his voice. He did not gloat. He looked at Tyler like he was looking at a boy about to ruin his whole life. That makes it worse, Noah said. You knew exactly what it feels like. Tyler's eyes dropped. His shoulders sagged. Emily sat very still, as if she did not trust the world not to change its mind again. Diane pressed a clean towel to Emily's wrist, angry tears in her eyes. Noah's dog stayed between Noah and Tyler until Marcus guided Tyler toward the door. The dog did not move until Noah shifted his foot and gave a quiet cue. Outside, snow kept falling. The world did not stop. But something in that diner had finally turned in the right direction. Carrot P, the door that stays open. Morning came gray and quiet. The kind of morning that did not celebrate anything, but still showed up. The snow had settled into soft piles along the curb, and Riverside Diner smelled like fresh coffee trying to do better. Emily sat in a back booth now, away from the window, with a first aid wrap around her wrist. Her cheek still carried a faint redness. She stared at the steam rising from her mug as if she was learning how to trust warmth again. Diane slid into the booth across from her, shoulders squared. You did nothing wrong, Diane said, like she wanted the words nailed to the table. Emily's eyes flicked up. It feels like I did. It feels like I should have stayed home. Diane's face tightened. Then they win. Emily swallowed. She was 17, but she looked older in that moment, like she had been asked to grow up faster than she wanted. I do not want people to know, she whispered. I do not want to be a story on someone's phone. Sarah Whitman approached with a folder tucked under her arm. In daylight, she looked the same as she had the night before, composed, practical, and unshaken. She pulled her hair behind one ear and spoke gently, but her words had a spine. We can protect your identity, Sarah said. The video will be handled as evidence. I will push for a protective order if needed, but I cannot do anything if you decide to disappear. Emily's hands tightened around her mug. I am tired of being brave, she admitted. Her voice cracked on the last word. Noah sat at the counter again, red and black flannel visible under his jacket. He had not planned to be here this morning. He told himself he came for coffee. The truth was simpler. He came back because leaving felt wrong. His German shepherd lay at his feet, harness still on. Service dog, do not pet, clear as a boundary. The dog's eyes followed Emily, not in a hungry way, but in a watchful way, like a guard in a chapel. Noah turned slightly so his voice could reach Emily without forcing her to face him. Being brave is overrated, he said. Emily looked toward him, wary. Noah tapped his left knee once, a small gesture toward the limp. I used to think staying quiet was strength, he continued. After I left the teams, I thought I could outwalk everything that hurt. I learned you cannot limp away from what follows you. Emily listened. Noah did not make it a speech. He kept it human. I am not asking you to fight, Noah said. I am saying you already did something important. You stayed. You told the truth. That is not nothing. Emily's eyes filled again, but this time she did not look ashamed of it. Across the diner, Marcus Reed returned briefly to update Sarah. Tyler's case was being processed, charges filed. Logan and Chase were being questioned, their involvement documented. The internet fame they hunted had turned into a paper trail. Emily's voice came small.
He said his sister has a brace.
Sarah nodded.
People carry pain. Some people choose to pass it on.
Diane leaned forward.
What happens to him?
Sarah's answer was careful.
He will face consequences. That part is not optional. But there can be room for a path that teaches instead of only punishes.
Noah spoke, surprising even himself.
Community service, he said. Somewhere he has to look people in the eye. Somewhere he has to do work that is not about him. Marcus nodded from near the door. If the court allows it, I can recommend it, he said. Emily stared at the table for a long time. Then she lifted her head. If it stops him from doing it to someone else, she said, then yes, I will cooperate. Sarah's face softened. Thank you, she said, and she meant it. Diane stood and placed a bag on the table. Food to go. Eat, she said, like it was a command and also a blessing. Emily smiled, small but real this time. Thank you. Noah finally rose to leave.
The limp showed as he stepped toward the door. His dog stood with him, steady, quiet, professional. Before Noah left, he looked back at Emily and gave a single nod. No promise that the world would be kind, just a promise that kindness existed. Emily watched him go. Outside, the street was still cold, but the diner door had opened and closed, and somehow the air felt lighter than it had the night before. Not because the pain vanished, because someone had answered it the right way. P. Sometimes the miracle does not come with thunder or light from the sky. Sometimes it comes quietly, through the courage of one person who chooses to stand up, and another who finds the strength to speak the truth. Faith is not only what we pray for on Sunday. It is what we live on an ordinary night in a diner, when kindness is tested and fear asks us to stay silent. God's hand often moves through people who listen to their conscience and act, even when it would be easier to look away. In our daily lives, we may never face a moment as dramatic as this. But we all meet small crossroads where we can choose compassion over comfort, courage over silence, and dignity over cruelty. Those choices matter more than we know. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs hope today. Leave a comment and tell us what faith and courage mean to you. And subscribe to stay with us for more stories that remind us goodness still walks among us. May God bless you, protect you, and guide your steps, today and always. P.